Hi, it's Jennifer and Savon with Retiree Wannabes. I just quit my job and we are buying a travel trailer. That's right. We are going to be buying a travel trailer to travel across country this winter and spend the entire winter on the road. So you're probably wondering the who, what, when, where, how, why. So it's probably easiest to start with the why. Why? Because we can. For many years that Savon and I have been together, his construction schedule has always been a downside for us. He works like a dog from April through end of fall, Thanksgiving time frame, and then come winter, he's off all winter long. So as we started thinking about the fact that this was possible, really the upside is that we're able to use his work schedule to our advantage now. So the process began in our planning about 2.5 years ago. Savon out of nowhere decided that we should go to an RV show. Why did you decide? What made you want to go to an RV show?
Something to do on the weekend in the winter.
So we decided to go on a whim. Got there, started looking through the RVs, and the more we talked about it, the more we realized that with Savon's construction work schedule being off several months out of the year, it was feasible that we could possibly do this. As we said, we've planned this, 2.5 years ago we started planning this, and last year we were really close. Around this time last year, I was working for a company I loved, but it just felt a little bit like I needed a new challenge. And so that was what we were planning to do. We sold our condo so that when the time was right, we wouldn't have to worry about a home sale, and decided to rent an apartment. The main issue that held us back was me having to quit my job to do it. That was something that took this long to get used to. And so as we sold the condo, moved into the apartment, I ended up finding a really great job opportunity at the time that I couldn't pass up. So we figured, let's give this a shot with this job and see. It's thundering so hard outside. I don't know if you can hear that. And give it a shot next winter. So as we head towards the middle of summer here, we decided, you know what, this is the year to try it. It was a hard decision because in order for us to do this winter, I have to leave my job. I love what I do. I'm in property management, but I'm kind of at a point where I want to find a new challenge. So, this winter is a good breaking point to do that, we hope, and come back and look for a new challenge when we get back. There's risk, what if I don't find what I want next spring when we get back, and what if I don't find anything? So there's a huge leap of faith that I had to be okay with before we decided to do this. But the more I've thought about it as we've planned this, the more comfortable I am taking that risk, because I feel like it's a risk worth taking at this point. The when is roughly after Thanksgiving. As soon as Savon's off work, we will head out around Thanksgiving. All right, so where are we planning to go? That's going to probably depend a lot on weather. What's our initial plan if the weather's not crazy?
I'd say we could head out 70-ish.
Okay.
And then maybe head south a little bit. It all depends on the weather.
If it's really snowy, then we're probably going to head straight down 71, 75. If it's more mild, then we can head straight out 70. Our ultimate goal is to make it through northern Texas, northern New Mexico, out to Joshua Tree, then come back home through, southern Arizona, southern New Mexico, southern Texas. That's our goal. However, the northern part of New Mexico, the northern part of Arizona is going to be hit or miss depending on weather. So we may have to alter that plan as we go. What are the top 3 things you absolutely want to see? Joshua Tree is one, right?
Sure. Yeah. I don't really have anything. I just want to go.
Go with the flow. I really want to see Santa Fe. That's the one thing that is on tops of my list, is Santa Fe.
Yeah, I have nothing. I might as well stop recording because I ain't.
About a year ago, I spent a good month putting together a budget for us, making sure that we can afford to do this winter. And I feel that we've been pretty generous on our expenses while we're on the road. We will be giving up our apartment before we leave, so we will not have any rent or utilities at home. So that's a big reason on why we can afford to do this, because all of the rent and utilities will now be in the form of, stays at RV parks and state parks and things like that. We're really hoping once we get out west to be able to do a decent amount of boondocking to cut our expenses there. But we know, obviously, fuel, gasoline, propane, that'll be a big expense. So we've got a full budget. We hope to do a few videos as we get on the road to see how realistic that budget was. Obviously, a budget is great, but sticking to that budget will be our challenge. So that'll be fun to do a video on that after we hit the road, maybe 30 days in, and do another video to kind of compare how our costs really ended up stacking up. So upcoming videos, we are hoping to do some more videos on our RV purchase. We haven't actually purchased yet. We picked what will work for us, but we're looking around at dealers. We're definitely willing to drive a state over if we find a really good deal, but we're hoping to stay as local as possible to get the RV. We've got to call about insurance. We've got to sell a ton of stuff. We do plan to keep one garage for storage and save the basic furniture and things like that for the spring. But we really want to downsize quite a bit.
We're looking at different types of travel trailers. We started out with Jayco, like 28 feet. We really didn't like the interiors of those. We kind of wandered around when we were at the RV show, and we ran into one that was called a Grand Design. We really liked the interior of those. They were really comfortable, were really nice. But me personally, I liked them. They're half-ton pullable. They were great, but yeah, I didn't think it allowed us to do everything that we could do. I've got a Harley, so I thought as we go on these winter months down south and west that it would be nice to take with us to ride out west and out and down south. So I told Jen that we needed to start looking at some maybe toy haulers. So we looked at a couple.
Our big challenge with toy haulers is that when you go with a toy hauler travel trailer, you sacrifice a lot of the living space. We looked at several toy haulers that the motorcycle comes right up into your kitchen. Then we started seeing toy haulers that had a separate garage. Most of what we found were beyond half-ton towable. So our challenge was to find a travel trailer that had the separate garage that was in our weight range. Weight range. Yes.
So we found two. One was a Keystone Outback, the C24 CG. It had the front loading compartment, separate garage. It was nice, but it was just on the brink of how much my F-150 could pull.
Mm-hmm.
It was just a little bit heavier than I was comfortable with. But then Jen found another one. It's a Gray Wolf 27RR made by Forest River. Their garage is an 8x11. It's in the back. So it's a separate garage in the back, and and the garage door actually folds down, and you can make like a open patio on it, which is real
with
nice.
railings. So the big sacrifice we had to make going with this type of toy hauler is that our bed now backs up to a wall. So one side, one side is all against the wall. There's not a walk-around bed that you can access from 3 sides. That was a sacrifice. We also sacrificed a living space per se. There's a dinette right next to the bed, but we did make those sacrifices. However, with the separate garage and the party deck with the railings, that will greatly increase our sitting space, and it hopefully will be nice to have the outdoor space with the party deck to make it feel more open when we're sitting outside.
And I get to still take the Harley.
There you go. So overall, the Grey Wolf 27RR really was one of our best options. So now our challenge is to find a dealer that's going to give us the best deal. So we are out and about looking and shopping right now, and we'll hopefully make that decision in a few weeks. Other things that we need to do are load the RV, and then we also will have a temporary time frame from between when we move out of our apartment to the time we actually hit the road. So we also are hunting around for an RV park that'll work in Central Ohio for that span of, we're thinking 6 weeks at this point. So we've got a lot of planning to do before that, so we hope to have a couple videos on how we do that and how the logistics of all that play out. And then once we hit the road, the videos will be fun. We'll kind of be shooting what we're doing, where we're going, where we're staying, how we're finding the places that we're staying, and how we're navigating everything. So it should be a really great journey, and hopefully you guys join us. So subscribe to the channel, and definitely give us any advice that you guys have.